the feeling of just it doesn't matter who you are, it's just you're welcome in this environment. And I think that's what really drew me in. And I'm like, this has got to be my life. And since then, since I was 12, this has been my life. So and I think it'll be my life the rest of my life. So yeah, so happy to be here.
A long career.
Thank you.
So congratulations on the release of your new single, Thanks Guy, out today.
Yeah,
on Insomniac's new label, Factory 93 Records. So tell us about this track, where you got the inspiration.
So that track was a random track I made just during lockdown. I was actually at my family's house at the time, like in a little bedroom studio. Lived there for a couple months. And I made it in the guest room, just randomly. The Thanks Guy, the title, is a triple meaning.
Okay.
It's the first meaning is the song started with one of my favorite artists, Guy J. He puts out these sample packs, and I'm on his Patreon, and I downloaded some of the samples, like of the main track. The leads were just from a sample pack. It sounded really good, and I liked it. The second meaning is Guy Lawrence from Disclosure.
Okay.
I was watching a bunch of his production things that he was doing during quarantine, and I learned a lot of techniques from these streams. And I used some of these special techniques in the track, kind of for the first time. And the third meaning is, it's kind of like a clubby, kind of darker kind of track, but then the sax comes in, and I almost imagine like a dark club where it's all serious, but then the sax comes in, it's kind of like, thanks guys, kind of like lightening up the mood. So it's a triple meaning with inspiration. I made the track in about 3 or 4 hours. It's just a really fast one.
Sometimes the best come out real quick.
Exactly.
So organic.
It was just sort of, it was just something I just like made one evening, and I just kind of put it aside, and I didn't have a crowd. This is the first crowd to test it on. I played it at a parking rave in January, but it was to cars.
Right.
It's the first crowd that I'll ever hear it live, so it's kind of exciting. I'm like hoping it's a good reaction since I've never played it before.
We'll be screaming. In summer of 2020, you opened up about your sexuality and mental health struggles for the first time. How do you hope your fans have kind of resonated with your honesty and opening up?
It's been absolutely incredible because the article reached over 500,000 people, which is crazy, like across all the socials. And since then, I've been just getting so many messages and fan mail and stuff of someone saying like, I was really uncomfortable with myself, but just reading your similar struggle really helped me with my own life. So that was kind of the goal, you know, like to be able to open up and kind of be somewhat of a leader for other people, and to help other people, because I think with social media and using a voice now, a lot of people use their voice on social media for like clickbait or extremism or whatever, and I'm just not really a fan of that. I'm like, now that I have a voice, I need to like use my voice for good as much as possible and try to bring as much positive change or positive energy to people. So that the article really kicked off. I was trying to do it before then, but the article really accelerated being able to use my voice for something that isn't like clickbaity fucking shit you don't want to see.
Exactly. So do you feel like a weight has lifted?
Yeah, for sure. Like being public, because I was public with my family and friends years before that, but never with like the fan base. Like I was like kind of open or whatever, but I just wanted to make a statement and you know, hopefully help other people.
I know that probably helps so many.
So definitely, it's just good. I feel like I can just be my true self. A lot of confidence came from that. So
We love that. We love it. Okay, so in April you released a collab with Tony from Above and Beyond, Santorini. How was it working with him on a solo project after years of releasing on Anjuna?
So it's really cool that during quarantine, no one's touring, so everyone could just kind of chat and like talk and text. And no one's like, when we're touring as artists, sometimes I'll just miss a bunch of texts and they miss a bunch of texts. It's hard to link up with people and whatever, but everyone's just sitting at home. So we discovered that my favorite artists like Guy J, Anakatanya, like my favorite DJ Sasha, like those are the artists who I like love, and I go to their parties. Like when I have time off, like I go to like anonymously on the dance floor to go party. And I realized that Tony also loves that music. Like that's what he's a big fan of. And so we were like always talking. And he's good friends with Hernan, and then I connected with Hernan, and it's like it was just sort of like a natural. You like this, and I like this. Like let's try something out. Like make it something in this vein. And it was like the ultimate honor that when the first person to play our track that wasn't one of us was Hernan Catano, like someone who was like one of my biggest inspirations. And I was getting like Instagrams from him, and he wrote on my Facebook. I was just like, you know, like it's just like I've worked with so many diverse artists, and I'm so grateful to be able to do that. But when it's someone who I am like a diehard fan, and then they're like writing me or something, and it's like, oh my god, like why? So at the end of the day, James, my friend, and I always talk about this. It's like being a fan first, I think, keeps the passion, it keeps it alive. You can't just be like, now I'm an artist, now I'm not going to enjoy the music. Like that's whack for me. Like I do it for the love of the music and the love of the community. I don't do it for just to be like, oh, I'm the artist. You know, I'm always going to be a fan. The day I'm not a fan, I'm not an artist.
That is so true.
I think it helps like with the creativity when you're inspired by people and feel passionate about it. So early 2020 you released your album Stream of Consciousness. Due to the pandemic, obviously you're forced to cancel the album tour. Do you have plans to showcase the album or
Yeah, so it was really sad that we had I don't know, like 70 whatever shows we had to cancel because of the pandemic. Like that I was gonna tour the album, and it just didn't work out. But I could sit here kind of being like, oh, like more me, but I kind of tried to flip it into like a silver lining situation where I had all this studio time, and I even have more unreleased music to play at the sets, because I think something I like to do at sets is play music that no one knows, no one has heard before.
That's what we love too.
No one's expecting. Like, 'cause I think it's good to play a couple tracks that are, you know, like a classic, but mainly like keeping it pretty exclusive or unreleased. To answer your question, to go off of that, we're getting more and more bookings now. Now we're in May, and we have a bunch of gigs planned in June, July, and August. So I will play a few of the album tracks at these gigs. But I guess I think that'll just help people get through quarantine.
Honestly, I think
I just have a bunch of new shit. Thank you.
It was a plan for quarantine, honestly, but I feel like the timing kind of worked out.
It was good. I'm happy people, resonated with it. And,
So will you be playing a little bit of that?
I honestly, because I don't plan sets, I have no idea. I wish I could tell you when I'm playing. I know when I know the first track I'm playing, then I think I know the last one I'm playing. But in the middle, I don't really know what's going to happen.
Surprise for everyone.
But for me, like, when I come in and when it's too planned, I don't know if the crowd, it's a push and a pull, because sometimes the crowd, if you start playing a little more techno and a little more groovy, and people start like going for it, you want to continue playing harder.
Switch it up,
And it's also creating contrast and moments in that moment. And I find it hard to create a moment if I don't know how the reaction is going. Because like, I say a moment, like a contrast, if I'm playing a few really darker tracks, once you bring in that first chords and those melodies or a vocal or something, it creates such a thing on the dance floor. But you can't really plan when that's going to happen. Like, I don't know when the sun is going to set and everything's going to be perfect. And then I'll get that perfect track for that perfect moment. And then I hope it works. You know? There's the odd gig or whatever where I'm playing something like, oh, this is going to be sick. And then everyone's just kind of like, it's like overkill. But you gotta adjust, you know, like playing in India versus playing in Australia versus playing in the US. Like India, I play much deeper. I play like 122 BPM, 121, maybe max 124, because I noticed when I was bringing up the BPM and playing a little more banging, the vibe would like drop. And then when I would like bring it back down and play more chill, it'd be going crazy.
That's a good sign. That's a sign of a good DJ when you do the
appreciate it.
vibe.
That's what it's all about.
It's all about that.
You know,
Pleasing the crowd. So what do you plan to focus on for the rest of the year? And do you have any upcoming plans that you can share with us?
Oh man, I'm still grinding out on the music, but honestly, just road testing a lot of music now and realizing or understanding I already had COVID and I have the vaccine, so I'm like, I don't give a fuck now. Like, give me sweaty
out
people,
there.
and honestly, cough on my neck. I miss the sweat. I miss the sweat. Yeah, I want the sweat.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,